Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Data Structures. In this episode, we are going to learn the concept of queues. So queues are linear data structures and the data is stored in the continuous locations of memory. So let me show you an example of a queue. So this is a queue and these are the contents of a queue. And you must be asking me the question that why I have kept both the ends of the queue open, because it is a data structure where both the ends are open and in very specific way. So let me tell you how both the ends are open. So this is the opening part and this is the rear part, okay? And this is the front part. So we can always push the data from rear and we can always take out the data from front, or this operation is known as NQ, ENQUE, and this operation is known as DQ, DEQUE. So pushing the data and taking that data out. So this is the main application of queue. Now queue data structure is a linear data structure and we have already seen that, and I also told you that we have to store the data related to the queue in continuous memory locations in your main memory. Now programming languages support this sort of behavior using lists in Python or arrays in C and C++ and even Java. Okay, so we can use these data structures, lists and arrays to implement our own queue in all these programming languages. Now this is a simple queue. There are even many variations of this queue. So here we can take the data out from front and we can insert the data from rear. Now there is another type of queue which is known as DQ. Okay, so the spelling for that is DEQUEUE. So it means that doubly ended queue. Okay, and we can have a queue with two ends. So anyway, even our normal queue has got two ends, but the specialty of this doubly ended queue is that we can NQ and DQ data from both the ends. Okay, so suppose these are the data items. We can NQ and DQ both the data items from both the ends of this doubly ended queue. And then there is something known as priority queue. So here in the priority queue, priority is associated with the data items. So it means that suppose if I NQ an item, then the position of that item in the queue will be decided as per the priority of that item. Okay. So all the items are always arranged as per the priority. So this is priority queue. Also, queue is known as first in first out data structure. Okay, so this is about priority queue, but normal queue is known as first in and first out. Okay, so if I say this is a normal queue, then whatever item gets in first, it actually comes out first. So it is FIFO, first in, first out. So these are all about types of queues. Now in stack, we have something last in and first out. Okay, so we put the last item in and we get the first item out. So stack equals to LIFO, last in, first out. And queues are FIFO, first in, first out. Now there are various applications of queue. So let us see them. So one of the most prominent application of a queue is buffer. Buffer is going to hold all the incoming data in that, and then it is going to release that data as per the requirement of the end process. Okay, so we can have actually a buffer in our printer. Okay, so it is known as spooling. Suppose there is only one printer, and so let us draw the symbol of printer. So this is approximate symbol of printer, and it is connected to a lot of computers. So this is symbol for computer, let's say. Okay, and all the computers are sending their print jobs to this printer. Then the printer is going to maintain a queue of all the jobs. So first job comes, then it is going to process that job, and even this is going to be first in first out kind of stuff. So I'm going to say first in first out for printer. Then we also have network buffers, because we have a single computer and we have many computers trying to communicate with that. Or suppose this is a server, okay, and it keeps on getting a lot of requests. So it is going to maintain a separate buffer for serving all the requests, and all the requests will go to this buffer, and this server is going to handle all the requests one by one. So if the server is multi-threaded, then we can have multiple queues serving as buffers for each and every process. So this is how we can use the queues in the networking and printing jobs. And even in operating system, we have the kernel, okay, OS kernel, that is processing the jobs or processes. And we know about context switching. Context switching means the kernel is handling one process and it is keeping the other process in the wait. So for keeping that other processes in the wait, there is queue. And probably many times it is a priority queue. Based on the priority of that process, the process is kept in the queue. And the queue is with the lowest priority is going to be in the end. So this is how we can work with the queues. And basically, if you want to define a data structure for a queue, you just define it like QUEUE and an empty list or an empty array. So this is how we can define a queue. And then there are various procedures. We have already seen two procedures. The first one is NQ, ENQUE, and the other one is DEQUE. NQ stands for inserting the data in the queue from the rear, and DQ stands for taking that data out from the front. Then there is other type of queue also. It is known as circular queue or circular buffer. So it has got locations like that. And the condition for this circular buffer for being empty is rear equals to front equals to -1. So this is the condition for this empty circular queue or circular buffer. So we have seen 4 types of queues, and we have seen the operations, and we have seen the applications. So this is how we are going to work with the queues. And from now onwards, there will be a lot of episodes on programming with the queues using various programming languages like C, C++, Java, JavaScript, and Python programming language. So please stay tuned to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it. Thanks a lot for watching this episode, and do let me know if you have any questions or queries about queues or any other technical topic in general in the comment section of this video. Thanks a lot once again, and I will see you in the next episode.